First, Hello guys. How we doing on this fine Saturday evening, morning, noon, night, whatever time it is, depending on your time zone. Welcome to the Saturday stream. Hi. And yes, Zayden, I see you're first. Oh goodness. How y'all doing this Saturday? Uh, Me, I have decided to start catching up on all the, comic book movies that I missed, like the Marvel movies, because I've missed, most of it. I just got through watching The Winter Soldier. Good movie. Good movie. And apparently next... I'm trying to watch them chronologically, not order of release date, but chronologically in the timeline or whatever. I skipped Captain Marvel because I'm not watching that garbage. But next is the Guardians of the
Just watched
Galaxy.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, that new Fantastic Four movie? I heard it was good. Did you enjoy it, Elweeb? Hi, by the way. Heard a lot of people, well, the grifters.
It was good SP.
Good.
Same, I saw it too and it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Wait. Say that again. Everybody's doing that meme. Yeah, I heard some, well, mainly the grifters and chodes.
Very separate from the rest movies.
But all the grifters and
It's fantastic.
chodes on the internet who probably aren't even gonna watch it, or maybe they haven't even really read any comics, are mad because Silver Surfer is apparently female, or female presenting, whatever you want to call it.
Jokes aside, it was really good.
I'm glad. Maybe I'll watch it soon. Man, comic books have alternate universes where everybody's all kinds of different ways. You know, comic books do that already, so shut up. Who cares if Silver Surfer has titties? Well, anyways. To begin the Saturday stream, I will do what I intended to do last Saturday, but I missed it because I was at, me and the kid were at a birthday party. So, but we will watch the new Odd Giant video, that new saga that he's making. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Did you see Odd Giant yet, or just saving for this?
Is there a delay? There must be a delay. Because we're going to watch that. That's the one we're watching now. So, let's see.
It was not woke. The women are arguably strongest characters, but who care?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? Alright, here we go.
I just typed right before you said it, lol.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a delay anyways. Okay, Odd Giant. Mortal Kombat 1 Corrupted Quest Prologue. An old nuisance. Eons ago.
But let's do what?
Oh, how the mighty
jeez.
Apex has fallen. Do you see now, Bi-Han? How truly inexperienced you are.
What should be done with him, Dosita?
Gather around, disciples. We must reawaken this lost soul.
Oh no.
So that he may become an indefinite servant to corruption. Dosita! Twandu Shanina Gyam Sesi Dera Nirnayam Den Prabhavitam Bhavatu Dam Sampurnataya Alinga Aduna Asmakam Pashe Astitwam Aya Asmakam
That's all we need is for him to be back. Oh, what is he, all noob cybotted?
Welcome back, Bihan.
What? What did you do to me?
It is not I who authorized this fate for you. It was Liu Kang.
Yes. He was the one who killed me, stole my power.
And divided it among his allies. As we speak, they are already planning to create new timelines.
Like hell they are. We'll just see about that. Get out of my way.
You are far too weak to oppose them, Bihan. They'll kill you in seconds. I am able to assist you in recovering your stolen power. But first, you need time to recuperate and familiarize yourself with your newfound abilities.
I was killed, and you revived me. This goes far beyond servitude, especially for someone like you. What do you want from me?
We share more similarities than you realize. A symbiotic partnership would benefit us both, but you are useless in this state. Allow me to aid you in reaching your full potential. Then together, we shall break this multiverse. Remake it in our image. The possibilities will be endless.
How do we begin?
Apparently it's the same Quan from the Apex.
He's
I don't know
reaching,
what to
like,
say.
movie levels of
I
cinematography.
actually don't know what to say. What the hell were you two thinking?
Uh-oh.
Not only did you cause over 2 million yuan in damage to the fire temple, which still hasn't been cleaned,
Well,
by the
I was
way.
going to until Grand Theft Granny over there drove a fucking truck.
Grand Theft
Watch
Granny.
your mouth.
You can't keep doing this, Madam Bo.
Hey, somebody needs to clean up all these potty mouths. And I wouldn't have needed the truck if this one over here didn't toss me around like a sack of potatoes.
You were beating me with your shoe.
Well, you should have mouthed off.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen.
You are
were the
beating
one
me with your
responsible for the
shoe.
damage. So you will be the one to pay for the recondition.
What? I can't afford 2 million yuan.
Well, you should have thought about that before you had a demolition derby at the fire temple.
Liu Kang, please. There has to be another way.
Dismissed.
So,
We cool, right?
What were you even doing at the fire temple?
Oh, he paid me to clean it for him.
Homelander.
Surprised? That's totally something I do.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about this later. After the two of you clean the fire temple.
Yuck, we cool.
It's like I'm running a fucking daycare. Dearest, you've been staring at the hourglass for quite a bit. Something catch your eye?
Actually, I think you might want to take a look at this as well.
What is it?
Well, that's not good.
Oh, shit.
But I don't understand. The season of vampires has ended. Why have they
They're
returned?
not vampires, Garrus. They're corrupted.
I beg your pardon?
They're an old nuisance. A very old nuisance. I thought they were buried alongside the
creaking.
rest of my past, but it seems they've resurfaced.
Are they dangerous?
They have the potential to be if left unchecked. Listen, I need you to give every realm a good once-over, just to make sure they haven't spread. I'll deal with the corrupted in the living forest.
Understood.
And if you must engage in combat, please be careful. Corruption is contagious.
Right. Are you sure you want to fight them on your own?
I am a titan, Garrus. I will be more than enough for them.
Of course, but still, be on the qui-vive.
Not to worry. This should only take a few minutes.
TV.
All right, you profligate pricks. Time to send you back to the hole you crawled out from.
Ah, Liu Kang. It didn't take long at all.
Shut up. Ooh.
If you were smart, you would run away.
Nice.
expected this to be a little more difficult.
No, come on, really?
That dragon brutality is my favorite one.
That's pretty cool. I don't know how they're still screaming with no lungs attached, but it's still cool.
What the hell is this?
Uh-oh.
You want to take a minute to tell me exactly who the hell you are?
I am Cora, a disciple of Lucita, and bringer of dissent and glory.
Well, aren't you just a little ray of sunshine?
I prayed for millennia for a foe worthy of facing me. Perhaps by sending me here, Lucita has answered.
AKA Halloween Thomas.
For your own demise.
Oh, come on, Liu
I take it back. That was substandard.
You're not impressed? Guess I've got to step up my game.
Whoa! Damn! Uh-oh. Have fun in that black hole.
See, this is the exact bullshit I knew you would pull.
Perhaps even I have underestimated this Liu Kang. Nonetheless, this is a
timeline babysitter
challenge.
kicking butt.
Glad you're enjoying yourself.
Lighten up, Bihan. Your foe will soon be defeated, and your power reclaimed.
This is what you've been promising me for eons, and yet I still remain unaccomplished.
Your constant confounded avidity is growing rather tiresome.
I will not be lectured by you, hollow housemaid.
Damn.
Lucita, I am grateful for the trials you have given me. It is unfortunate I cannot take more time to enjoy it further. It will not be you who kills him. No, but Liu Kang will grow weaker with each passing day. In a month's time, even you will be able to quell his viability.
Why is he growing
What
weaker?
exactly is that supposed to be?
Simmer down, Bihan. Soon, your rightful faculty will be yours for the taking, and we may prepare ourselves for the advent of the apocalypse.
This is cause for concern, Liu Kang.
I'm fine, Garrus. I can fight this off.
You've been saying that for a month now. Will you continue until you wither away into a husk?
Ugh, knock it off. I'm not in the mood.
I have a feeling that Cora had something to do with this.
Doesn't matter. I killed him. Have you seen any more corrupted?
Not since the original incident.
I want to say this is good news, but this doesn't feel like the end of their invasion.
All right, I'm ready.
Why is he in
Why aren't
camo?
you changed?
Because I'm not going.
What? What do you mean you're not going?
I mean, I feel like shit, and I've got bigger things to worry about than wasting my life babysitting you all.
Fair enough.
I trust you will ensure chaos doesn't conquer this party.
Naturally.
Thank you, Garrus.
Just doing my job. But for real, you should rest.
Yeah. Lots of rest, lots of fluids. I know how to combat a fucking cold, Garrus.
Wow, you're callous when you're sick.
Yeah, I'm sick, all right. Sick of everyone's bullshit.
I knew I was about to say that. Sick of everyone's bullshit.
Back from ads.
Oh, yeah.
And
sorry
immediately after I paid for the order, the stupid bitch drops the cake.
Oh, no.
No refund, no apology, nothing.
That's quite the dilemma.
Oh, I'm not done. Then, the child behind me decides to take a shit right on the floor.
Okay, now that's disgusting. Hopefully it wasn't too bad for the parents to clean up.
You
think
think,
the-
they stayed?
Right.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
This Walmart sounds like the stuff of nightmares.
Walmart.
Horror stories from Tomas. I don't dare to ever step foot in that facility.
You did ask for a refund, right?
Of course I did. Didn't get one. I just grabbed a more expensive cake and left.
So you stole.
It's Walmart.
Integrous.
Oh, it's a fucking Walmart. Grow a spine.
Exactly. It's a Walmart, man.
Sarex, what can I do for you?
Did you by chance talk to Bi-Han about my entreaty?
Okay, I didn't get to it yet, but you need... Look, it's Bi-Han. You know how he is.
You asked me to get as much intel on Sector's new clan as I could. I can't do that with our limited resources. I need the Lin
Oh,
Kuei
Nolan,
report.
LOL.
I know, Cyrax. I know.
Well, he's over there. Go ask him.
It's not as simple as
He's
that.
over
Would you
there.
prefer
Go ask
I
him.
ask?
Sure, tell me how that goes.
Oh my God, these men! I swear.
Drowsiness, a bit of a sore throat, that's pretty much it.
And you didn't stop to consider the fact that Titans can't get sick?
You know, I wasn't a fan of your constant nagging eons ago. I'm still not a fan of it now.
This ailment has progressed at a slower rate compared to mortals, but nonetheless, it still has progressed. Can it be reversed on a Titan? Yes, but it will take much more time.
I can fight this off on my own.
No, you can't.
Even if you could, the date of the apocalypse draws ever closer, and you are their leading target.
Our top priority is to ensure you fully recover. Only then can we concentrate on ceasing this danger.
What do they even want with me?
I have a potential theory. The corrupted appear to have recruited an undead Bi-Han to their ranks. This Bi-Han is clad in gold, which bears a similar resemblance to...
Cage? What the hell are you doing?
Is he dragging him to the party again?
Are we putting a pin in this?
No!
Really?
The Lin Kuei laboratory is a great privilege. One you abandoned when you resigned.
Sector also resigned, and she took all her scientists with her. You no longer have anybody who knows how to use that lab.
Except for you.
Precisely.
You think you can just crawl back and ask for my
I
forgiveness?
don't give a fuck about your forgiveness. Like you and your brother.
Direct
I
connection
only want
from
to
the
stop
Easter
Sector
party.
before anything
Has he
even
still got
starts.
those
But we
superhero
can't do that
steroids?
if we don't know what we're up against.
None of the Lin Kuei spies ever returned.
You need me, Bi-Han.
Don't even let those words leave your fucking mouth!
I am not taunting you. Wouldn't it be so much easier to fight Sector if the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu...
No!
Oh, look at that. It's raining incompetence.
All right, who's ready to party?
How in the fuck did you even do that?
I'll explain later.
After 6 hours. A lot of pot brownies.
Whoa, I'm starting to feel it now.
Johnny, you don't look too good.
Fine.
I am fine.
Yeah, maybe you should lie down.
You all right, Takeda?
No, if people puke around me, then I...
Oh my god.
Yup, right where we left off.
Ah, I see, yeah. Chain reaction,
Oh,
puke.
lovely. I didn't want to eat tonight anyway.
My immortal life is too short to deal with this.
I'm out. Ew.
Who wants chowder?
Oh, what a mess.
And I'm not cleaning it up.
Okay.
Psst. Hey, buddy.
Who are you?
A representative for a new startup cleaning company. It looks like you've got a huge mess on your hands. So, as part of our new promotion, we'll make this temple sparkling clean, free of charge. How does that sound?
Like a scam.
You are not permitted to be on the premises. You may either leave on your own accord, or I will.
I mean, I would not clean that too.
You're passing up the opportunity of a lifetime.
Your services are not required. Please leave the premises, or I will escort you out.
You just couldn't make this easy, could you?
Cyberlink
I'll
way!
actually be the one escorting you right to an early grave.
Get him, T-1000. Oh, come on, T. Work harder. You're kind of getting your ass kicked, man. Come on.
That should keep you down.
What the fuck is going on here?
Oh, hi, Ghostface.
Jesus! You take one bathroom break and suddenly you miss half the plot.
Oh, so that's how it's gonna be, huh? Hey, you! When did the robots get here?
A few minutes ago.
What's their deal?
They wish to clean up the piles of bombs our unconscious colleagues are lying in.
That's why we're fighting? Because you refused maid service?
Right. I thought I made a pretty good deal.
Assist me, Ghostface.
Oh, why the fuck are you dragging me into this?
Well, you're already kind of helping. Oh, by the way, mods, can you get that, bot out of the chat, please?
1 sec.
If there are any mods around. I might have to do it.
Want the cleaning now?
Alright, there we go. I got it.
I have a plan.
Why did I even bother putting the damn thing back on?
Attack the black one. They're all linked to him.
Gee, taking the cop persona seriously, huh?
Yeah, my bad, sorry.
Make it that easy.
Is there anybody else around that can help? Nice. Epic.
No worries, just caught by surprise, but I'm here still.
Oh, wow. Did you hear the Windows sounds?
That actually worked!
Oh, come on, man. That wasn't cool.
You were asked to leave.
I just wanted to clean the fucking fire temple for you. Jeez, maybe you are racist.
Guess we've got Grok 2.0 over here.
Let me put this in a way you can understand. Get the fuck out of here before I...
What the hell?
Oh, you're fucked now.
Oh no, what's happening? See? You good, man? Uh-oh.
What?
Mimetic polyalloy. This might come in handy.
Is that Chrome?
It's Chrome time.
You said it right after I did. Holy shit, it's Chrome.
Wait a minute. Who the hell are you?
I see one straggler decided not to plunge in puke. And you even managed to destroy millions of dollars worth of equipment. I'd be impressed if I wasn't pissed off.
Perfect timing.
Answer my question, jackass.
Oh, where are my manners? I am the first commander of the Takunin clan. You may call me Chrome.
A little on the nose, don't you think?
You must understand. I can't have you interfering more than you already have, so...
Saber!
What? Can you pay attention for 2 fucking seconds?
What the fuck do you want me to do?
Get this fucking mask man out of here!
So why don't you just fucking say that? Instead of having this stupid ass in your windows.
Run, Ghostface!
Happy. Now he got away, you fucking idiot.
It's your own damn fault.
It doesn't matter. Can you just stop fucking shit up every chance you get?
I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking telepath that can read your...
Just get back to base. You've disappointed me enough today. Fucking dumbass. Listen, I want this place spotless. Vomit, cups, plates, silverware, anything with a shred of DNA on it leaves with us.
Chrome, was the infiltration successful?
We're in the damn fire temple, are we not?
Did you encounter T-1000?
You don't need to worry about him.
What?
Let's just say he's been repurposed.
What did you? Unbelievable. Chrome, you never failed to impress me. Well done.
Only the best for you, Grandmaster. The Cyber Initiative is only mere moments away.
Perfect.
Who was
A
that?
women.
What? Oh, wow. That was an exciting beginning. I'm interested. I like Noob Saibot though. Well, why didn't you just say that? Good stuff as always, Odd Giant. Alright, let's see what else we got here.
So hyped for what's next.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, moving on. Let's see what other videos we got. Hang on, let me clean some of this up. Yeah, and we just watched that, so... Top 10 Mortal Kombat secrets and Easter eggs. We can watch that.
Ink ribbon.
With the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection and Mortal Kombat 1 having reset the timeline again, I thought it was time for me to cover the goriest game that we were all probably too young to be playing, but I decided to start with the original game.
My name is Liu Kang. If you want to get to the top, you gotta get through.
So that's right, we're going all the way back to Mortal Kombat 1. No, not that one.
Not that one.
Thank you, Ed Boon, for naming the new Mortal Kombat in a way that now makes searching for the original impossible. Sit back and relax because
well, it's
these
not impossible.
Are secrets,
You just gotta
Easter
put
eggs,
1992
lore, and
after
development information about the original Mortal Kombat.
You get an opponent, you can rip off his head or something like that.
Sounds like a pretty thrilling game, and this is the kind of violence that critics are pretty worried about.
Number 10.
Unused content. As with most games, there are things that weren't able to make it into the game. First is unused sprites and animations, like this one of Goro falling to his knees and turning to stone, possibly as an alternative death animation. Johnny Cage has an unused flip kick, which was actually brought back as a move in Deadly Alliance.
Oh. Cool.
Shang Tsung has 2 unused animations, one of him laughing and one of him swinging a sword, neither of which appear in the final game.
Ooh.
And lastly, there is an unused music track in the game's files that was supposed to be Goro's theme while fighting him.
Number 9.
Storyline.
Oh, hang on, just a second.
While most of us probably skipped it or just never saw it, Mortal Kombat has cards in various parts of the game that displayed elements of the story and
Sorry, Mom was telling me dinner's ready.
Lore. I wanted to see if there was any interesting character changes that may have changed or become non-canon, but much to my surprise, it's pretty spot on. I think because the characters die and come back to life throughout the series that the canon would be a mess, but I guess it's only when it comes to kills. This is also the first game after all. Liu Kang left a group called the White Lotus, which is a secret society and one of the clans you can join in Mortal Kombat 10. Raiden is said to have possibly been invited by Shang Tsung, but in Mortal Kombat an invitation is usually more of a demand or a threat than anything. Raiden also apparently took human form to compete in the tournament. Scorpion and Sub-Zero have a much simpler storyline that hadn't been fleshed out yet, instead simply being from opposite ninja clans. Other than that, Sonya is Special Forces, Kano is Black Dragon Criminal, Johnny Cage is an actor, and everything else is exactly as you'd expect. Now, the endings are probably where things get a little bit wonky story-wise. Johnny Cage realizes how important his fighting skills are and goes back to Hollywood to film the Mortal Kombat movie. Kano takes over the tournament and runs it.
So he does that again in the new MK1. Okay.
Into the ground after destroying it causes something called the Battle of the Sands. Sans, whatever that is. Fans have speculated that this simply means the world became anarchy, but there's no confirmation, so I'll guess this is a non-canon ending. Cool image of Kano, though. Raiden isn't surprised at all, being super cocky about it and deciding that he needs a better challenge, so he invites other gods to participate and the battles go on until the world is literally destroyed.
Whoa.
Have a nice day.
What?
Liu Kang returns the contest to the Shaolin temples and brings it back to its former glory. I guess they originally ran the contest and then it was stolen or something. I couldn't find much on this other than the Shaolin Temple is featured as a level in Mortal Kombat 4 and Mythologies. Also in the Japanese version, the tournament is called the Banquet of Carnage, which is amazing.
That is a cool name.
Scorpion appears without his mask and still in human form with the revelation that he was murdered by Sub-Zero, but allowed to return to avenge his death. After winning the tournament, he is now cursed with never being able to see his wife and child again.
Aww.
Sub-Zero sneaks back into the shadows after being paid a large sum of money by one of Shang Tsung's enemies to kill him, and then he retires. And lastly, Sonya's unit was being held captive, but after defeating Shang Tsung, they were released and the Black Dragon was defeated. Somehow. One last interesting thing about these screens is that they were shot last minute and in a hurry, with no time to remove the backgrounds, which is very apparent when you notice the background is just kind of a bunch of curtains.
Oh,
now, throughout the franchise, the backstories and canon and all that has changed, but this is where it all started and how it was originally.
Number 8.
I guess, you know, they do that when they're not sure
Character
they're
trivia.
actually going to have another
The character sprites were all filmed in a small studio using a Hi8 camcorder, which was just a standard video camera that anybody could buy. After doing all the necessary poses, the graphics were then scanned into a special software and all the characters had to be painstakingly cut out by hand on the computer. Aside from that, there's a little bit of character trivia I thought you guys would like to know, so here goes. Liu Kang was originally named Yoshitsune Minamoto, based on a Japanese clan, but the name was too difficult for the American team to work with. The first game is the only one that doesn't depict him with his iconic red bandana or red and black pants. He also always had his own unique voice from other characters. This is actually a shouting technique in Japanese martial arts called kiai. For some reason, Raiden's name is sometimes spelled with a Y. Sub-Zero was originally going to be called Tundra. Scorpion's spear was never meant to come out of his hand as depicted in the films and cartoons. It actually was just thrown from a rope that was around his waist. The famous "Get over here" line was voiced by Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat.
Do it!
Get over here!
Johnny Cage was supposed to be portrayed by Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he was working on a different game at the time and declined. Ironically, the game he was working on was never released. Many of the actors were either members or employees of a
And Tundra is now running an ice cream place.
Allowing them to audition without even knowing. Sonya was the last character added. She was inspired by the karate champion Scythia Rothrock, and Sonya is named after Ed Boon's sister.
Oh.
Originally, Sonya was going to be the character that would later become Stryker, but was changed into a female character instead. Goro is the only character to not be captured from a real actor, instead using a stop-motion figure. Ermac began as a rumor due to Ermac, or Error Macro, being listed alongside other stats like how many battles with Reptile you've had. Nimbus Terrafo was a rumored character until it was revealed that it was an April Fool's joke by EGM Magazine, first mentioned in the December 1993 issue.
Number 7.
Stage trivia. Starting with the courtyard, it was inspired by a scene from Enter the Dragon, a famous Bruce Lee film.
Yeah, I could see that.
Only in some versions of the game, monks will clap at the end of every round.
Johnny Cage wins.
The level was changed in Mortal Kombat Trilogy with the monks not being animated, the sky was darker, and Shang Tsung was replaced with Shao Kahn. Mortal Kombat Deception brought this level back, but had to edit it, making it a 3D level, so now it was more of a square that you could go around. Then there's the Palace Gates, the only stage from the original that didn't appear in the 2011 reboot. The Buddha statue that is shown in the background was actually a garden ornament borrowed from a neighbor. It's really hard to see, but there's actually a Pac-Man Easter egg on the top right of the stage if you look at the stone. Warrior Shrine. This level's often called the Hall of Statues, and the Sega Genesis version for some reason does not have a Liu Kang statue.
Huh.
It was also featured as an area in the Mortal Kombat 11 version of the Crypt. It was also
Dude, that's so cool.
Shaolin monks. And you can even destroy the statues. Shang Tsung's throne. This was actually based on one of the thrones from the movie Big Trouble in Little China. The stage also tends to look different in Genesis and Amiga versions of the game. Then we have Goro's Lair, which was also based on a cave that was in the movie Big Trouble in Little China. It's also the most recurring arena in the entire franchise, appearing in almost every game and other media. Then we have the Pit. Knocking your opponent into the pit doesn't actually count as a fatality, only announcing it if the opponent is thrown with Liu Kang's fatality.
Liu Kang wins. Fatality.
It's also technically the first stage fatality in the series. There is a random chance that a shadow will appear over the moon, and there's several different variations of it, including a UFO, Santa Claus's sleigh, a rocket, a witch, and what appears to be the kids from Peter Pan. Then there's also the pit bottom, where you can fight Reptile. The faces of the developers can be seen among the dead bodies and heads and stuff. The story behind this area is that Shang Tsung grew tired of how many people managed to survive the fall into the pit, so he put Reptile down there to take care of any survivors.
Ah.
And lastly, not technically a stage, but the Test Your Might didn't return to Mortal Kombat until Deadly Alliance 10 years later.
Wow.
It appears after 3 consecutive wins and has 5 materials to break, which are wood, stone, steel, ruby, and diamond.
Your might.
Number 6.
Controversies.
The fact is that a new generation of video games crosses that line, containing the most horrible depictions of graphic violence and sex, including particularly violence against women.
What's sex?
This game is tame by today's standards, but back then it was such a shock that it not only caused parents to boycott, but also directly resulted in the creation of the ESRB rating system for video games that we still use today. All the violence portrayed in this game, as well as a few others at the time, became very talked about, especially the narrative that video games cause real-life violence, which is still believed by many people to this day.
In fact, Mortal Kombat so shocked the managers at a nationwide arcade chain that they tried a sanitized version of the game. Instead of chopping the opponent's head off, he simply disappears. Sales dropped 40%.
They came up and said, what'd you do to
Sales
the game?
dropped
It's no
40%.
Then there was also some legal controversies. Due to the unexpected runaway success of Mortal Kombat, several of the original actors sued Midway, demanding more money, with all the cases being decided in Midway's favor since all the actors had signed contracts.
Number 5.
Well.
Version differences. The first Mortal Kombat game was released on a total of 11 different platforms, not including re-releases. In the Genesis version, the statue of Liu Kang is missing, instead replaced by a second ninja statue. The Genesis and Super Nintendo versions have unique censored fatalities.
But MK is still going strong.
Mm-hmm. Toasty just looks silly. Hang on. This one right here. He's like, yes, I touched her boob. Yeah. That's what that one looks like. Oh shit, I dropped my phone. Oh, shut up, Windows. No.
LMAO buddy.
The Game Boy version was popular due to the fact that it was the only version of the game where you could play as Goro.
Oh.
Then there's the Game Gear version, which for some reason is missing Kano and only has 2 stages. There was also a plug-and-play version of the game that was released that apparently is arcade perfect and surprisingly good, but I've never played it.
Huh.
There was also Tiger Electronics version of the game, which is obviously the best way to experience Mortal Kombat.
Beep.
And there was also something called Tiger Barcodes version where you had to like scan cards and stuff, which I don't even know what that is, but there you go.
Number 4.
Cancelled remakes. This is actually what inspired me to make this video, but if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you may remember there was a lot of buzz around an HD fan remake of the original game with 3D models of the characters rendered in high quality, and honestly it had a really nice art style to it.
That looks
I was
good,
actually
yeah.
following this project back in the day, and I would go lurk in their forums to see the progress of what was being done, and it seemed to be going really well until they got a cease and desist, which ended the fan project right then and there. Which is a shame because it was looking really good. There was a demo leaked for it that allows you to play as Scorpion or Sub-Zero, so if you're really wanting to try it, I'm sure it's floating around the internet somewhere. There was also an official remake being made, which was interesting because instead of a typical remake with high-end graphics, they cast actors and reshot all of them in costume the same way they did the original games, though in much higher resolution. It looks like it was going to have features like character progression and online play, but despite all the work done on it, it was cancelled, and to this day we still don't really know why.
Well, damn.
Matt McMuscles did a video on these HD remakes that I watched, and it was really good. Provides a lot more information than what I have here, so be sure to check that out if you want to know more about them. But which one of these do you think had more promise? Because I think the 3D one looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Secrets. Even though it was a new game made by an extremely small team, there were a few hidden secrets in the game. When you lose, you get a game over screen showing the sky above the pit level. Unknown to a lot of players, there is a secret game over screen where in about 1 in 30 games where the camera would slowly pan down to the bottom of the pit. Speaking of the pit, this level was actually cleaned up and censored in a lot of versions of the game with the blood and the bodies removed. The most famous secret of this game was being able to fight against Reptile. Occasionally you'll see him appear at the beginning of a fight with a secret message that is a hint about finding him. First, you have to fight in the pit stage on single player and wait for a silhouette to appear in front of the moon. You also not only have to get a double flawless victory, but you also can't block, and you have to perform a fatality. Not the pit fatality, a regular fatality. If you manage to do all of this, you get the privilege of fighting against the Green Ninja at the bottom of the pit. And that's it. You don't unlock him as a character or anything. You just get to fight him.
What?
They really made us work hard for our secrets back then, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. I love how his name still says Scorpion, though.
Cheats. Remember when games had cheat codes?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's worth noting that this game got heavily censored on console, but thankfully a cheat was added to the Genesis version where at the start, if you entered ABACABB, you'd unlock Blood Mode, which enabled the violent content. Without it, the game would be censored, even the fatalities. Aside from that, there was also the Dullard code, which was an acronym for down, up, left, A, right, down. If entered at the main menu, you unlock cheat mode, which was a bit confusing because instead of just choosing cheat options, it's listed as flags that are numbered. So here's what they do. Flag 0 will give you 1-hit kills against the computer. Flag 1 will give you 1-hit kills against you. Flag 2 causes silhouettes to always appear in the pit. Flag 3 makes the head of Probe Entertainment, Fergus McGovern, bounce around the screen of the pit stage. Flag 4 gives you clues about finding Reptile always appearing at the
Asses of the good old days.
Flag 5 is infinite credits. Flag 6 is that the CPU opponents will always perform a fatality. And Flag 7 is that you will always fight on the Palace Gate stage. For some reason, on the Sega Mega Drive version of the game, there's a secret code that renames all the fighters to random names of characters from a TV series called Dad's Army, which is apparently a British sitcom.
That's random.
And lastly, exclusive to the Game Boy version is a secret cheat that makes the game much easier. If you hold the A and B buttons when turning on the game and waiting until you see the licensing screen, you set the game's difficulty to a fixed low level, making the opponents a breeze, especially towards the end. I wonder if they'll keep that for the Legacy Collection.
Number 1.
Development. The first Mortal Kombat was released in 1992, becoming the #1 selling fighting game for that year and made a total gross revenue of $870 million, and that is not adjusted for inflation. It should come as no surprise, but this game was made as a direct response to Street Fighter II, which was the big game at the time. Mortal Kombat wasn't the only attempt at a Street Fighter clone, but its unique use of digitized actors combined with its shocking gore made it stand out. People came for the shock value, but stayed for the gameplay and the characters. While it may have started as a ripoff, it actually grew so wildly in popularity that not only did it spawn its own line of copycats, most of which are terrible, but it actually began to threaten the sales of Street Fighter, prompting Capcom to release a commercial to discourage people from buying it.
Oh. They were feeling the competition.
Mortal Kombat also pioneered several things into the fighting game genre, including combos and finishing moves. The combos
That's
were
my
actually a
childhood
happy
right there
accident
ever
because they
since
didn't
Deception.
anticipate players putting in inputs in rapid succession, but it worked out. While other fighting games had special moves, Mortal Kombat was the first one that allowed you to perform them with simple inputs instead of the typical rotating of the joystick, which I now realize is the reason I was never able to figure out Street Fighter moves. Shockingly, this game was made by a team of only 4 people.
Wow.
John Tobias and Ed Boon were the co-creators, with Boon handling the software and Tobias handling the graphics. Music and sound was made by Dan Forden, who you may recognize as the Toasty guy.
Toasty!
And lastly is John Vogel, who did the background art. Throughout the years and ports, there have been more people who have worked on the game, but it's still pretty cool that it was made by such a small team. I can only imagine they didn't get much sleep. And the last development trivia I'm going to leave you with is the one that I find the most amusing. So originally, there was a few ideas for the name of the game, including Kumite, Dragon Attack, Fatality, and Death Blow, but it ultimately was just called Combat, with a C. Then someone wrote a K over it to be funny. Later, when they were trying to copyright it, they couldn't clear the name legally because you can't trademark a single word. So then they went with Mortal Kombat, still with a C, but it was too generic, so they replaced the C with a K, and the rest is history. Long story short, nobody remembers exactly how they came up with the name Mortal Kombat. This is one of those games that I've been literally playing since the beginning of the franchise, and the only game that I haven't played in the Mortal Kombat series is Armageddon. Even though I'm terrible at the game, I just wanted to make a video about it for any of you who are also Mortal Kombat fans, and I hope you enjoyed learning about it because I sure did. But that's it for today, so if you learned something new, then perform a fatality on that like button and be sure to subscribe for more content just like this. Remember to drink water, and until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon.
Well, let's put a little... Wait, went down too far, hang on. I like...
Nothing.
Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna take a little quick break. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. Okay, let's see what else we got.
Welcome back once more.
Can you help me close it? I'm in trouble here. How do you close it? It's a little trippy.
If you ask the average person what a T-Rex looks or sounds like, they will direct you to Rexy or one of the other Rexes in Jurassic Park. And it's not really their fault. I mean, it's the most famous dinosaur trilogy ever made. Rexy's roar is so iconic that games and other movies totally unrelated to the Jurassic franchise use them. But with how famous it still is fairly inaccurate for the most part. I mean, there's a vengeful Spinosaurus that can take a hit from a plane, and Jaguar-sized raptors that can outsmart humans on numerous occasions. With that said, you got...
1 second. Yeah, this is supposed to be Jurassic Park scenes with real, accurate dinosaurs.
I wonder if the events that played out in the 3 movies would play out the same if these theropods were replaced with their real-life counterparts. Would the park now be safer, or would it be 10 times worse if Evolution's bioweapons were set loose? Well, that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. What exactly would happen if Jurassic Park's theropods were replaced with their paleo-accurate versions? With how many different theropods there are in this franchise, this little series will have to be in parts, with this video being part 1. And also I started recording late and I don't want to rush to edit a video. One more thing before we start, if you're new here and you like anything dinosaur or animal related in general, then you're in the right place. I do stuff like this all the time and even take some subscriber suggestions and turn them into videos. So hit that like and subscribe button and join the Discord down below. Just don't do any weird shit. So far everyone's been great, but I know somewhere out there a few weird fellows be lurking, so Please don't be that person. Anyway, I've stalled you on long enough. Let's get right into the video. Rexy is the face of the franchise and is well known for some iconic scenes like the car chase and the raptor killing. With that said, would certain scenarios be different if she was replaced with the real Rex? Well, yes, a lot different actually. And for this video we're going to be using Sue, the most famous real Rex against the most famous movie Rex. The first scene we're going to be taking a look at is the enclosure breakout. When Rexy gets out, she looks around for a bit and then locks onto the car after Tim closes the door, only making a move until a flashlight is shined in her face. There she then struggles to get them with a very thin barrier, and when that fails she just starts taking it out on the car itself. If this was a real Rex, those two would probably be dead already. So hitting the car over and investigating it is something the real animal would do too. And with a weight of 9 tons, Sue could flip the car over just as easily as Rexy. However, that's where the similarities end. The moment Sue hears that door close and looks into the car, she's gonna see Lex and Tim, even if they are as still as possible. Even now, she still wouldn't just crash out on the vehicle. She would more than likely look around and try to find some way inside of the car. More than likely the same moonroof Rexy did. And just a heads up, Sue wouldn't just target the center of the glass. T-Rex is generally considered to be smarter than even the dromaeosaurs like the Velociraptor and Utahraptor, so it's more than capable of realizing that the edge of the glass will be the place to strike, and once she grabs the end and yanks it away, Tim is gonna watch as his sister explodes like a water balloon as the most powerful jaws wrap around her body. And then again, Sue could just be curious about the vehicle like most other animals and just leave the two be. So there's a chance the two could be unharmed as a whole. However, this scene where Grant just throws a flare into the enclosure and Rexy runs with it like a dog playing fetch, let me tell you something. If he tried that with Sue, she'd look at the flare and then back at Grant, like, really bitch? And then just run towards him. The toilet scene would pretty much be the same, because after Malcolm sets poor Donald up, the outdoor toilet along with him was getting destroyed with either Rex. While there could be variables with most of these situations, there is one scene where the movie would have ended immediately if it was Sue instead of Rexy. That is of course when Rexy catches all of them outside when Lex decides to scream. I never got that, by the way. I've noticed that even in the novel, Lex is always
oh god, Rexy, your eyes.
Like the time she almost got them killed in the river because she couldn't control her sneeze. Now the first thing she decides to do when seeing an elephant-sized theropod in front of her is to scream loudly to get its attention. For whatever reason in the franchise, the Rexes can't see you if you move. Like if you play 1, 2, 3 red light statue, it's like you're putting on a cloak of invisibility. They managed to stay still and escape after Rexy couldn't figure out if they were food or not. Enter Sue. The moment Lex screams, Sue is going to turn and look. And this time Grant's advice of don't move is not going to work. You better start running because there's a good chance you could outrun her if you don't slip and fall. At first she might be a bit curious as to why they aren't running from her, but right after, Grant and Lex are going to get comboed as Sue swallows them whole. Sue could also just skip all that mess and murk them the moment she sees them in the open, especially since she's starved from that one-go diet. Believe it or not, there are going to be some people who think in their heads that wild animals are more scared of us than we are of them. Sure, some. But you go outside in the Canadian tundra and tell a polar bear's that this is a 9-ton hyper-carnivore that hasn't been exposed to guns, explosive or man-made weapons. She most certainly isn't going to be scared of them. Then there was the famous car scene that made people think a T-Rex was faster than Usain Bolt. Rexy roars to announce her arrival and then chases the Jeep pushing 30 miles per hour. This time Rexy is way more deadly than Sue. Well, depending on the circumstance. Let me explain. Sue is nowhere as fast as Rexy. As a matter of fact, she probably couldn't have run as we know it, instead doing something more similar to a fast walk and reaching 14 or 60 miles per hour max. Any faster and her legs would shatter under her own weight. So Malcolm and the rest would be safe in that sense. But there's also the chance that Sue already locked onto them before they could see her. Sue is a real animal, and real animals don't roar or announce themselves to their prey. Wouldn't be smart from an evolutionary standpoint. Paleo-accurate Rexes have padding on their feet, which makes their movements silent despite them weighing as much as your mom. If she could get close enough to spring an ambush and close the distance before Muldoon could start the car, she could actually yank Malcolm from the back and have an easy meal. The last scene where Rexy fought the Raptors is going to be pretty much the same, even if it was Sue instead of her. She would have been just as silent as Rexy for this scene, and would have taken out the Raptors just as easily. The only real difference I could see happening is the Raptors' souls immediately leaving their bodies the moment Sue gets a hold of them, instead of a delay like when Rexy bites them. I know you're probably going to ask me about the fights, even though that's Jurassic World and not Park, and I'll just go ahead and say it, she probably won't do much better than Rexy. Sure, she might have a higher chance, but not by much, especially against no T-Rex killers, but that's for an entirely new video. I'll title it Sue Runs the Gauntlet or something, I promise. And before all of you who come and say Sue wins easily, because there's somehow always some of you, these are movie monsters, and some of the things they can do and have survived are not possible in the real world, so Sue wouldn't just wash them. Is there a chance she could win? Yes, but like I said, that's another video because I'm not covering Jurassic World in this vid. Just wanted to get that out there before the real Rex always beats fiction folk show up. While Sue could have been more of a threat in some circumstances, the next theropod is nowhere as dangerous as the movie version. We are all familiar with Asset-87, the first T-Rex killer announced in the franchise. A massive theropod weighing over 8 tons and having enough power to cause an extinction event on Sorna, as some people who worked on Jurassic Park 3 said. Every few months, T-Rex somehow apparently has a new stand, the ability to go Super Saiyan and weighs as much as King Kong, while the Spinosaurus was riddled with testicular cancer and had a jaw so weak it couldn't bite a fish in half. In all seriousness, the real-life Spinosaurus is a really fascinating animal, even though it's not as powerful as we first thought. One of my members on Discord actually showed me a picture of a real-life Spinosaurus tooth he has, which is probably the most dope thing I've seen in a while. Anyway, the real-life Spinosaurus on average was around 7.6 tons, which still is smaller than 87 in Jurassic Park 3, even though he's not fully grown like in Camp Cretaceous. To give the Egypticus some hope, we're gonna say it probably has the same amount of hate for humans as 87, for whatever reason. First of all, if the real Spinosaurus was shot at with guns like the way 87 was in Jurassic Park 3, it would at least show some signs of injury, limping or even retreating instead of continuing the chase. Hell, even if it did decide to give chase, there's a chance Cooper could have still outrun the Spinos 50 mph top speed. I did see some posts saying it could push 20 mph in short bursts, but I think that's very unlikely. Even if that's the case, Cooper still had a good chance of getting away. Alright, let's say it was able to somehow.
The Spino of 87.
It still would probably die sooner or later. While Asset-87's sail can take a tremendous amount of stress, such as a direct hit from a plane and rolling over on it with its full weight, if the plane were to hit an actual Spinosaurus sail, it's gonna get broken. I know it's not nearly as fragile as portrayed in some documentaries because it did live in one of the most competitive ecosystems ever documented and had to deal with Carcharodontosaurus. Regardless, a plane hitting its sail will cause some sort of fracture at least, and this would cause the animal a tremendous amount of pain, requiring it to find an area with shade where it will lay down and try to sleep it off. Hell, there's even a chance it could get infected and cost the animal its life as well. We all saw how Asset-87 was able to tear a plane apart with very little difficulty and then chase right behind the human cast for a good amount of time. Could the real Spinosaurus do this? Well, sort of. I don't think it has the ability to tear the plane to shreds like 87 did, but with it weighing almost 8 tons, it could most definitely crush it just by leaning on it a bit. As for the chase scene, that would either be the most goofy or horrifying thing possible. Imagine seeing a short-legged bipedal animal running towards you like a duck. Then again, if it was a quadruped, something on all fours with teeth the size of spikes would be horrifying. In any case, it's very unlikely it could sustain such a long chase or even catch up to them with top speed. The only way I see any of the humans dying here was if the Spinosaurus just decided to bring the plane down and start stomping on it, crushing everyone inside, or managing to pick someone up while they're exiting the plane like an egret. So your survivability so far is looking pretty solid. The same can't be said for the Spinosaurus itself, but while the film version may be a T-Rex killer, the paleo-accurate version it can't compete. I don't think I need to tell you about 87's fight with Bull. He wrestles with him for a bit and then just snaps his neck. First off, even if the Egypticus had enough power to snap one of the Jurassic Park Rex's neck, the positioning of the arms would make that impossible. And unlike 87, its skin is nowhere thick, so when Bull has its neck in its jaws, it's gonna exit life. I mean, it could manage to get some good slashes in and cause open wounds, but other than that, there really isn't much it can do. While it did have a strong bite for what it is, it won't be enough to cause significant damage to this genetically modified T-Rex. So far, this guy just can't catch a break. But once again, let's revive him, or say he skipped that entire cutscene. I don't think it has the capacity to track people from any part of the map like 87. It could break through the same fence 87 did, however. It just has to build enough momentum and ram into it. Could cause some injuries, but nothing it couldn't come back from. And the one thing it's supposed to excel in still doesn't grant it any significant improvement over the movie's version. It would basically be able to do all the things 87 could, like lean the boat over or try to fish for the humans in the underwater cage, and the flames would have affected it just as much. Overall, you'd be safer if it was the accurate Spinosaurus, unless you're in a march or something and it just ambushes you, because you won't get a roar warning like the one 87 does. And to be very honest, with its relatively primitive brain and it being an actual animal, it wouldn't be able to hold that much of a grudge against people to traverse the entire map, wasting its energy and putting itself in dangerous situations. Like this movie, Spinosaurus would look for Rexes to fight, but the real one would try to avoid unnecessary confrontation, because the goal in the end for it and any other animal would be survival, not island status. Leaving the Spinosaurus behind, the last dinosaur on the list is far more deadly if you met the real one instead of Hollywood's version.
Dilophosaurus!
Ah yes, the Dilophosaurus, a golden retriever-sized dinosaur that sounds like a barn owl, spits venom and can be choked out with one hand. Wrong. The Dilophosaurus was the largest theropod of its time, more than 23 feet long and weighing more than 2 male lions put together. It would have mauled Owen before his hand could even touch its neck. I'm pretty sure a lot of you somewhat have an idea as to what would happen if a real Dilophosaurus was replaced with a smaller movie version because of the novel. But even though the novel got the size correct, the interaction would still be a bit different if the real animal was used. So I'm just going to cover what would have happened in the movie really quick before I talk about the novel. So Nedry was basically stalked by this pint-sized little carnivore and alerted by it when it made its little noises, where it lures in Nedry with its charm per se and then mauls him in the car. If Wu somehow brought a 100% paleoaccurate Dilophosaurus back to life and set it loose in the park, Nedry wouldn't even know of its presence before it was too late. That's right, no cause to alert Nedry or darting around. Just the carnivore laying in wait while watching Nedry and then ripping him apart before he saw it coming. In the novel, the Dilophosaurus has the same proportions as the real one, with one slight caveat. It's much more sadistic and it could spit venom. In the novel, it plays a life and death game of cat and mouse, toying with Nedry waiting for him to make a move, eventually deciding to go first and spitting venom at him repeatedly, eventually blinding him. Now, if a normal predator had this ability, it would have tried to end Nedry as quickly as possible to avoid any risk of injury. Yet Jurassic Park's animal takes its sweet time, slicing open his stomach and then letting him ride on the floor for a few moments, and then hoisting him up in the air by his head as though it's sacrificing the man to something. If the real Dilo was in this situation, it would kind of be as curious as a novel variant, but won't stall and attack as long. It will size him up and assess whether he could be a difficult prey item or not. Once it figures out that Nedry can't really do anything, it would spring towards Nedry and kill him as quickly as possible. It doesn't have any venom to fall back on, so it couldn't target Nedry from a distance. However, weirdly enough, Nedry could survive this. It's a very slim chance, but it is a possibility. When Nedry got venom spat into his eyes in the novel, he already was close enough to enter the car, but he looked back at the Dilo too soon and got venom in his eyes, and then walked out into the open. If he managed to inch closer and closer to the Jeep, while maintaining eye contact with the animal, basically testing its nerve, he could enter the vehicle and drive away. Even if the real Dilo decides to attack, he could have just driven off when it breaks the glass, forcing it to fall back. But this is like a 8% chance. So if the Jurassic Park 1 Dilophosaurus was replaced with the real one, it would be much worse, not just for Nedry, but everyone else on the island, even though it can't spit venom. Hell, it might be a greater threat than the raptors. Okay, probably not, but you get my point. So that's gonna be it for this one, folks. I'll post part 2 sometime this week or the next. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video.
Yes, indeed.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.
That was interesting. I kind of thought it was going to be an animation, not just like an essay thing, but still interesting. You can watch this one.
Welcome, wrestling enthusiasts and curious minds alike, to a journey through the mysterious depths of the iceberg of lost wrestling media. Today, we embark on a thrilling exploration into the obscure and forgotten corners of the wrestling world, diving deep into the realms of lost matches, rare footage, and untold stories that have slipped through the cracks of time. Join us as we unravel the layers of this iceberg, uncovering the hidden gems and unsolved mysteries that make up the rich tapestry of wrestling's lost media. Whether you're a diehard fan or a casual observer, prepare to be captivated by the untold history and elusive moments that have become legends in their own rights. This is wrestling's lost media iceberg. For those who are unfamiliar with the iceberg concept, the structure of this video is
this spotter
inspired by
be
the
good.
iceberg metaphor, where only a small portion of the iceberg is visible above the waterline, representing the well-known or mainstream information, while the bulk of the iceberg is submerged, symbolizing the hidden or niche details. So basically, as we go further in the video, you'll find out things you never knew as you get to the bottom of the rabbit hole of lost media. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. We're beginning with Tier 1, which is just at the surface. The first incident of lost media that we'll cover is the Owen Hart fall. On May 23, 1999, professional wrestler Owen Hart fell from the rafters of the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri during a pay-per-view taping of WWF Over the Edge 1999. This is one of the most famous pieces of lost media. Since WWF cameras were rolling at the time of the accident, footage of Hart's fatal fall exists on tape. This was confirmed in a column written by former WWF announcer Kevin Kelly in May 2013. According to Kelly, the tape sits in the WWE archive in Stamford, Connecticut, with instructions never to destroy, view, or duplicate. And the next thing we'll be looking at is the paralyzation of Droz. Droz vs. D'Lo Brown was a 1999 wrestling match that originally was slated for WWF SmackDown. In the match, D'Lo Brown incorrectly executed a powerbomb finisher, which broke Droz's neck, fracturing 2 vertebrae, and thus ending his career and leaving him a permanent quadriplegic.
Bro, just burn it.
Entirety, but because the venue was WWF SmackDown, the match was taped days before its airing, giving WWF time to edit out inconsistencies, as they had done with all other SmackDown tapings. Because of this, WWF technicians have withheld the footage of the match, deciding not to release it in any format. However, the footage of Droz being taken out on a stretcher has been seen in WWE's Don't Try This at Home public service announcements. Next up, we have Screwed, the Bret Hart story. WWF released a DVD called The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, and in this documentary they slammed the Ultimate Warrior more than praising his career. WWE attempted to do the same thing with Bret Hart in a documentary called Screwed, the Bret Hart story, and this was just to paint Bret Hart in a negative light after his WWE career. The documentary recorded interviews involving Shawn Michaels, Jerry Lawler, and Hulk Hogan talking negatively about Bret Hart. WWE eventually scrapped this negative portrayal and decided to direct the documentary painting Bret Hart in a positive light. But the negative recorded interviews that were about Bret Hart have never been available to the public. And now, because Hart has a more positive relation with the WWE and making amends with various wrestlers that were interviewed, it's unlikely that WWE will release the interviews or any other footage exclusively intended for Screwed, the Bret Hart story. And next up, we have WWF In Your House 8, Beware of the Dog. WWF In Your House 8, Beware of the Dog was a wrestling pay-per-view event produced by WWE. It was first broadcast in 1996 in South Carolina, headlined by a WWF World Heavyweight Championship match between champion Shawn Michaels and challenger the British Bulldog. However, the event is infamous for a power cut that knocked out the pay-per-view feed and arena power, causing some of the matches to occur and to be recorded in almost complete darkness, as well as some of the match finishes being changed from the original plan. Likely because the untelevised matches were of poor quality, some matches from this pay-per-view have been released on the WWE Network, but a lot of the matches that took place at this pay-per-view have not been released to the public. There's also been footage of the lights going out uploaded to the internet, but the full matches have yet to resurface. Up next, we have the Jake the Snake and Hulk Hogan Snake Pit segment. This is an infamous segment that hasn't been seen since the 80s, but it is legendary. Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts were set to feud with each other for the WWF Championship, so there was a segment where Jake invited Hogan to the Snake Pit for an interview. Roberts would compare Hogan's arms to pythons, and then he would hit a DDT on Hogan, starting their feud. However, after Roberts hit the DDT on Hogan, the crowd went nuts for Roberts. Vince McMahon was of course watching this segment, and he panicked seeing the crowd cheer for Jake rather than his WWF champion and biggest star at the time, Hulk Hogan, and so he nixed the feud, and footage of this segment hasn't been released by WWE. Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake ultimately did have several matches in 1986 and 1987, but this segment has never ever resurfaced. And next up, we have the mass transit incident, which took place at ECW in 1996. This is where 17-year-old Eric Koulos, a ring name Mass Transit, was seriously injured by notorious wrestler New Jack, with New Jack blading Mass Transit too deeply, severing 2 of his arteries. Fan footage of this incident exists on the internet, so it's still able to be viewed by others, but the official footage shot by ECW has never been released to the public. And next up, we have Chris Benoit, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 was released in the fall of 2007, and it was part of the popular WWE vs. SmackDown Raw series, now titled WWE 2K. During development, wrestler Chris Benoit was originally going to be a playable character in the game, but was quickly removed due to the actions that he committed in the summer of 2007, in which he took the life of his wife, his son, and himself. Chris Benoit isn't in the game, but he remains in the game's code, and that's about it. It's also been widely speculated that he was supposed to be one of the cover stars for SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. This kind of makes sense because the game wanted to have ECW representation on the cover, and on the weekend where Benoit committed those heinous acts, he was scheduled to win the ECW World Championship. But of course he didn't. Instead, to get ECW representation on the cover, another star, Bobby Lashley, who had held the WWE version of the ECW World Championship the most times of any wrestlers, was instead on the cover. This one's very interesting because Benoit could have very well been on the cover instead of Lashley, seeing that he was the biggest star at that time in ECW. And now we're moving down the iceberg into Tier 2. The first piece of lost media on Tier 2 is the photographs of the plane ride from hell. The plane ride from hell was a series of incidents of WWE wrestlers misbehaving on a flight in 2002. Since the flight was delayed an hour before takeoff, many wrestlers took to drinking while they were waiting. Among the incidents were two wrestlers, Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig, grappling, with Lesnar taking Hennig down and almost diving both of them through the emergency door while the flight was mid-air. Various other antics also took place, such as Ric Flair SAing female flight attendants and Michael Hayes having his hair cut off while he was sleeping because he sucker punched another wrestler and caused him to bleed. It's been reported that multiple photos on this plane ride were taken. To this day, no one knows what happened to the photos, and they have not surfaced online in any form. And the next incident is the death of Mitsuharu Misawa. Pro Wrestling Noah is a wrestling company that is based in Japan, founded by Mitsuharu Misawa in 2000. Misawa carried great fame before and after founding the company, and he was considered as one of the best wrestlers in the world and in wrestling history. In 2009, despite his deteriorating health due to demands of the sport, Misawa wrestled a tag match for the GHC Tag Team Championships, and during the match, Misawa received a backdrop suplex, where he was dropped right on his head and he fell unconscious immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Seeing that Misawa was not getting up, the match was instantly stopped and Misawa was rushed to a hospital where he was pronounced dead within hours. He was 46 years old. His cause of death was never made public. The only thing Pro Wrestling Noah has revealed about the incident is the moment in which Misawa was treated by paramedics after the match. This was done in order to be shown on the Japanese news. Beyond this, nothing official has been shown, in order to show respect to such a beloved personality as Mitsuharu Misawa was. A person in the crowd recorded the entire match from arena seats with his camera, but he has refused to reveal it to the public out of respect for Misawa. Instead, he has just uploaded the moments before and after the match. The next piece of lost media is Mark Jindrak in Evolution. Evolution was a professional wrestling stable that was prominent between 2003 to 2005, consisting of Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista. Evolution was a dominant group on WWE Raw. Before Evolution had even formed, Batista was slated to be in the group. However, when Batista suffered 2 tricep injuries that took him out of action for months, WWE had considered replacing him with Mark Jindrak, shooting vignettes featuring Jindrak as the 4th man of Evolution's Titantron. Because Jindrak was replaced in Evolution prior to making his debut for the stable, the vignettes featuring him were never featured in Evolution's Titantron, with the helicopter and nightclub clips containing just the trio. When Batista was re-added, WWE simply spliced clips of him between the vignettes. To this day, the footage of Jindrak in these vignettes has not been released. And next up we have Radio WWF. Radio WWF was a professional wrestling radio show produced by the WWF, now WWE. It provided commentary for its pay-per-views and discussed news surrounding the wrestling industry as a whole. The show ran for some time, but eventually it was cancelled. Likely due to each version of the show proving unable to attract many stations to carry them, recordings of Radio WWF remain scarce. It is therefore coveted media among those seeking the alternative pay-per-view commentary. There's some recordings of Radio WWF on the internet, but it is scarce compared to the amount of shows that they put on. And next up, we have WCW's audio-only pay-per-views. In the late 90s, WCW held 6 special wrestling events that were broadcast exclusively via the WCW website. These events were audio-only, with WCW commentator Tony Schiavone providing the play-by-play of each show. These events were not recorded by WCW themselves and thus were never released on home video. However, the audio streams are said by some fans to have been downloadable, but no files have surfaced. When WCW was purchased by WWE, the entire video library was acquired, and it is unknown if WWE is in possession of the audio of these events. And next up we have Tyson Kidd's last match. In 2015, prior to an episode of WWE Raw, professional wrestlers Samoa Joe and Tyson Kidd faced each other in a dark match. The encounter would become infamous for being Tyson Kidd's last match, as a botched landing during Samoa Joe's finisher, the Muscle Buster, resulted in Tyson Kidd suffering career-ending spinal cord injuries.
Oh no.
Initial reports claimed that the match would subsequently air on WWE Superstars, primarily because Superstars banners were present on the sides of the ring. However, it was confirmed that the encounter would remain a dark match. Cameramen can also be seen in the photos of the match, confirming match footage was captured by WWE. However, the tape is unlikely to ever be publicly released due to containing Kid's career-ending injuries, and out of respect for Kid himself. The only footage that is publicly available is a fan recording of the finish. And next up, we have the lost footage from the alternate endings of WWE's WrestleMania 36. WWE WrestleMania 36 was the 36th instance of WWE's annual flagship show. It aired on the 5th and 6th of April 2020, and it was the first ever WrestleMania to be televised over 2 nights, as well as the first to be taped. This was all because of the pandemic, which resulted in WWE being forced to film the matches at its performance center in Orlando, Florida, about 2 weeks before it aired. There were supposed to be 65,000 fans in attendance, but there were no spectators due to the pandemic. The difference in filming and airing dates led to concern over spoilers, and this prompted WWE to film alternate endings to some of their matches. While WrestleMania 36 can be easily viewed on the WWE network, no footage or photos of alternate finishes have ever been made publicly available. The tapes containing the different endings likely dwell within WWE's tape library, although the chances of the clips being publicly released remains low due to how they would break WWE's continuity following the show's airing. One match that was on WrestleMania 36 that could have had an alternate ending is a cinematic match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt in which the latter picked up the win. These two had history that went all the way back to 2014. Luckily, their feud was able to happen considering that John Cena was involved in a bad car accident in 2012.
Oh, no.
At least he had no injuries. However, many people aren't as lucky as John Cena and are injured in car accidents, and they don't have the means or the know-how to pursue legal action. That's where the modern solution of Morgan & Morgan comes in. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, and they help over 3 million people every year and have recovered over $15 billion for their clients. With Morgan & Morgan, there's no need for you to visit law offices and sit through long consultations. You can submit a claim and have a lawyer review your case with only 8 clicks on your phone. You can submit your case details, sign contracts, upload documents, and medical records all from your cell phone. You can even text your attorney and legal team throughout the duration of your case. Contacting a personal injury attorney should be your first step in a car accident. And the amazing thing about Morgan & Morgan is that you pay nothing unless they win the case. There's literally nothing to lose. Don't overthink it. Take action to protect your rights, and Morgan & Morgan will fight to get the compensation you deserve. If you're ever injured in an accident, you can submit a claim at www.forthepeople.com/ageofwrestling or by dialing #law. That's #529 on your cell phone. Thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. And we're going down the iceberg once again into the 3rd tier. With our first entry on the 3rd tier, the ECW Arena Fire. In 1995, ECW was holding an event at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia. The event gained infamy in the match between Cactus Jack and Tommy Dreamer. In this match, there was a stunt involving a steel chair wrapped in a towel that was set on fire, and it ended up engulfing Terry Funk and a fan in flames, causing major panic among those in attendance that led to a stampede. No footage of the incident has ever been publicly released, with ECW claiming during a litigation case involving the injured fan that the tape was accidentally erased the following week. However, some question this, as footage of a crucifix angle coming from the same event appeared on the following week's ECW television program. If it still exists, it is likely within WWE's tape library, as WWE purchased ECW's assets and its tape library in 2003. However, given the context of the incident, it is highly unlikely that it will end up on the WWE network. And up next, we have Goldberg's pre-television debut matches. Goldberg is a professional wrestler most famous for his undefeated streak in WCW. Making his television debut in September of 1997 on Monday Nitro, Goldberg would amass an alleged 173 consecutive wins without defeat, including defeating Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship before losing to Kevin Nash at Starrcade 98. However, prior to his television debut, Goldberg competed in 6 matches from June to July of 1997. 5 of which occurred during tapings, and one of these matches saw him be defeated. All of Goldberg's pre-debut matches occurred during tapings for either Nitro or Saturday Night, thus it is likely footage was captured of these matches. Pre-show footage of WCW events have publicly resurfaced in the past, but as of the present day, none of the pre-shows containing Goldberg's early matches have resurfaced. Nevertheless, the tapes of these matches could exist within WWE's vaults, with the company having purchased WCW and its tape library in 2001. And up next, we have the alternate endings of the match between Johnny Gargano and Velveteen Dream. On the 31st of January 2019, Johnny Gargano defended his NXT North American Championship against Velveteen Dream, with the latter picking up the win. However, this match was going to air about 3 weeks later, and the difference in dates between the filming and taping prompted concern over spoilers. To avoid this, WWE filmed an alternate ending which featured Gargano retaining the belt. While the broadcast version of Gargano vs. Dream with Dream picking up the win is easily available on the WWE Network, footage of the alternate ending remains completely inaccessible to the public. The only accessible media of the ending is a photo of Gargano with the belt on his shoulder following his victory. The tape containing the alternate ending likely still remains in WWE's vaults, although the chances of a release remain slim due to how it breaks WWE's continuity, with Dream having since left the company on seemingly bad terms. And up next, we have the alternate endings for Keith Lee versus Adam Cole. During the peak of the pandemic, NXT threw the Great American Bash, and it closed up with a match between the North American champion Keith Lee and the NXT champion Adam Cole, and the match was a winner-takes-all match. While the match sold itself, the added stipulation of winner-takes-all just added that much more to the match. The match was recorded before it aired on TV, so WWE were concerned about spoilers regarding the finish of the match. They decided to film alternate endings. The ending that aired was Keith Lee winning the match and winning the NXT Championship while holding the North American Championship. While the match is easily accessible on the WWE Network, footage of the alternate ending remains completely inaccessible for public viewing, and they likely will not release it, seeing that both superstars have left the company for AEW. And up next, we have the lost footage of Awesome Kong versus Melissa Anderson. During a TNA taping in 2009, professional wrestlers Awesome Kong and Melissa Anderson competed in a dark match. Despite the lack of hype surrounding the match, it was highly acclaimed by those in attendance, with some considering it to be one of the best women's matches of its era. While there are plenty of photos of the match, no footage of it has ever been publicly released by TNA. The match received rave reviews, but it was never intended to air on television, and it doesn't look like they will ever be released to the public.
Well, that's a shame.
And next up, we have Strange Kentucky People, which is a lost recording of a tribute to Chris Jericho.
Oh,
in his 2007 autobiography, A
I've
Lion's
heard about
Tale
this.
Around the World in Spandex, professional wrestler Chris Jericho discussed his time working at Smoky Mountain Wrestling. During a show in Paintsville, Kentucky, Jericho received a videotape from a female fan, which he claimed contained all of his SMW matches. In actuality, it contained a bizarre tribute to him, with now the tape being commonly referred to as the Strange Kentucky People. The tape in question had incestual, not safe for work themes between the girl and her family, as well as her and her family doing some very outlandish things. Jericho commented on the tape's content, stating that he was unsure why the fan gave him the tape, but proclaimed it was more entertaining than a tape of his SMW matches. According to Jericho, the recording ended up on the tape trading circuit, being called Strange Kentucky People. However, while the tape theoretically could still be in the possession of an avid tape collector, no footage or images of it have ever resurfaced. It has since become a holy grail among wrestling tape traders. And now we're moving on down a tier into the fourth tier. The first entry of lost footage in the fourth tier is Kurt Angle vs. Owen Hart. In 1999, during a taping of WWF's Shotgun Saturday and before a live WWF Raw is War, respected professional wrestlers Kurt Angle and Owen Hart faced each other in a dark match. Occurring prior to Angle's television debut at WWF Survivor Series that same year, the match convinced Hart and others that Angle would be a future world champion. While Angle's dark matches were not intended to be televised, a few have been publicly released. However, no footage of this match with Hart is currently publicly available, with just a single photo of Angle executing a power slam being viewable. The chances of the match resurfacing is slim, especially with Peacock's acquisition of the WWE Network, focusing more on ensuring the media meets NBC's standards and practices rather than releasing new material. Further, rumors the match would be released during Kurt Angle's return to WWE in 2017 came to nothing. Additionally, Hart's widow, Dr. Martha Hart, has refused to allow WWE to profit off of Owen's name again following his death, which could also impact the possibility of the match's release on legal grounds. And next up we have TNA Explosion episodes pre-2006. TNA has been active since 2002. They started off doing weekly pay-per-views for the wrestling show before getting a TV show on Spike TV. They also had a show called Impact Explosion, where a lot of lower tier wrestlers would have matches. In the beginning, it was mainly produced for international markets, though in its later years, episodes would be distributed in the United States on Impact Plus. About 4 years worth of episodes pre-2006 have not been found on the internet, and only little clips or pictures can be found on the net. TNA probably has all these episodes locked away in a vault somewhere, but it remains to be seen whether they'll release any of these recordings. Next up we have Kenny Omega vs AJ Styles. In 2006, AJ Styles and Kenny Omega competed against each other in the main event of PCW Back to School Bash for Premier Championship Wrestling. In a matchup that is now regarded as a dream match by several wrestling journalists and fans, Omega himself credits the bout for keeping him in wrestling rather than focusing on an MMA career. Footage of this fight is hard to come by, but it exists in a few fragments that were included in the 2019 TSN documentary Omega Man, A Wrestling Love Story. However, as discussion about the lost match intensified, it attracted the attention of PCW, and PCW's owner revealed that his company held the full tape of the match within its archives. Whether PCW will publicly release the full tape remains unclear. And next up, we have the lost Hell in a Cell match. In 2011, John Cena defended his WWE Championship against Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger in a fatal 5-way inside a Hell in a Cell. Occurring in Kansas City, Missouri, it is notable for being the only instance of an untelevised Hell in a Cell match. Prior to 2017, only amateur footage of the match was available, with the master tape lying somewhere within WWE's tape library. However, to promote the 2017 edition of Hell in a Cell, WWE released a few photos and a segment of the match. The rest of the master tape footage has never been publicly released by the company. And next up, we have Terry Funk's Satchel Ass promo. Terry Funk is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he is a pioneer of the hardcore style of wrestling. In 2006, while he was with WWE and was feuding with Mick Foley, he cut the famous Satchel Ass promo. This promo featured Terry Funk hilariously calling Mick Foley a satchel ass. Funk said that his dad told him to never trust a man whose ass is wider than his shoulders, and that's why he couldn't trust Mick Foley. He was basically roasting Mick Foley relentlessly. This was before the WWE Network and was a WWE.com exclusive promo that didn't air on TV. Only small remnants of the promo are left online today.
Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
But WWE probably has it somewhere within their vaults, and it is unclear whether they'll release it, considering Terry Funk's passing. And up next we have Sheamus versus John Cena versus The Undertaker in a steel cage match. In 2010, an untelevised wrestling match occurred after the 900th edition of Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. Sheamus defended his WWE Championship against John Cena and The Undertaker in a triple threat steel cage match. No footage or photographs of the match were officially released by WWE on their website or their YouTube channel. The only existing media of the match is various amateur footage filmed by fans in attendance for the show. One footage only shows the closing stages while the other contains the full match. The master tape footage has never been released by WWE and likely remains stored in the vaults at their headquarters. And next up we have the Von Erich family touring in apartheid South Africa. The Von Erichs were a famous family of professional wrestlers who gained prominence in the world of wrestling, particularly the Texas-based promotion World Class Championship Wrestling during the 1970s and 80s. They were beloved babyfaces, but tragedy ruined their prospects of truly taking over the wrestling world. There's actually a movie starring Zac Efron called The Iron Claw based on the story of the Von Erichs. The Von Erichs actually had a tour in 1985 in apartheid South Africa. For those who don't know, apartheid was a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination that took place in South Africa, where there were many policies designed to maintain the political and economic dominance of the white minority over the black majority. The Von Erichs performed in a politically turbulent South Africa in front of white-only crowds, but there's no comprehensive footage to be seen of them wrestling in South Africa, even though it did happen. And moving down the iceberg to the 5th tier, our first entry on the 5th tier is Val Venis.
Yuck from what I heard.
Val Venis was a sexually obsessed, pornographic film actor character who was a solid mid-carder in the late 90s and early 2000s, but by 2007 his character had fallen by the wayside, and to remedy the situation, WWE gave him the show, Sex U, on their broadband service, on their website. It was popular with WWE starting in 2007, and it was the most viewed series on the broadband service, with it being viewed over 800,000 times. There were only 4 Sex U episodes, and in each episode, Val Venis shared his wealth of sex experience. The show is mainly giving viewers bedroom advice. Val Venis debuted the show a few months before the Chris Benoit tragedies, and after Chris Benoit did what he did, WWE focused on cleaning up their product and making it more PG, and that meant that Sex U was cancelled. There are no screenshots or any short clips of the episodes. While it is likely WWE has access to the web series, they are extremely unlikely to release it. And up next we have Lita's training videos. Lita is a professional wrestler who competed in WWE from 2000 to 2006. She's most known for joining the Hardy Boys to form Team Extreme, her time as a valet for Edge and being a 3-time women's champion. Prior to her debut in 2000, Lita had trained in Mexico and the United States in the late 1990s, with at least 2 of her training sessions being recorded. In mid-2020, a hardcore Lita fan uploaded the 2 training segments onto YouTube, lasting a combined total of 22 seconds, with one of the videos lacking sound. In the comment section for the video, the fan responded to questions concerning the whereabouts of the full video, stating that this was the only footage they could show without buying the tapes. Thus, more footage of these sessions may have existed at some point, though remains publicly unavailable as of the present day. It is also known that after Lita graduated from the Funking Conservatory in August of 1999, Funk Jr. and his wife established a compilation video containing footage of Lita competing at the training camp, sending it over to the WWF. It is possible that the video contained the footage of the training sessions, although this remains to be seen. And up next we have Celebrity Wrestling. Celebrity Wrestling was a British wrestling reality TV show broadcast on ITV1. Lasting for a single season in 2005, it involved professional wrestling and wrestling-related events between two teams of celebrities. The trainers of the show who were tasked to train the celebrities were Rowdy Roddy Piper and D'Lo Brown. But ultimately, Celebrity Wrestling was not a success, and it was more of a jokey affair in which the celebrities didn't take too seriously. While the first 4 episodes of Celebrity Wrestling were broadcast on primetime television, the poor initial ratings combined with the few repeats due to its poor reception has led to much of the show becoming lost media. While no full episodes currently exist, a segment and match featuring Leilani Dowding against Kate Lawler were uploaded to YouTube in August of 2006. Additionally, a review of the show contains clips that would otherwise be completely inaccessible. And up next, we have Chowderheads. Chowderheads is an unaired American cartoon created by Eli Roth, produced by WCW, which followed the exploits of 3 teenage professional wrestling fans. It was to air weekly on WCW Monday Nitro before being pulled before the first episode aired. For nearly 17 years, none of the 8 episodes of Chowderheads would see a public release. However, in January of 2016, the first episode would be uploaded onto Facebook. The remaining 7 episodes are likely in the possession of WWE, locked away in their vaults somewhere. And next up, we have a star-studded 8-man tag. In early 2010, an 8-man tag team match took place after a SmackDown episode taping. It consisted of babyfaces Edge, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and Triple H taking on the heels Batista, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, and Sheamus. That is a star-studded lineup. The show the match took place on was held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. As the match was untelevised, there is very limited footage available online. No photographs were ever posted to the official WWE website, and the master tape footage has never been released either. The star-studded match was taped and is probably locked away somewhere in WWE's vaults. And next up we have the AAA Star of Death cage match. AAA is one of the major wrestling promotions in Mexico and has gained international recognition. It was founded in 1992 and has been known for its lucha libre style, which incorporates a mix of traditional wrestling, acrobatics, and high-flying maneuvers. The only Star of Death cage match took place at AAA's event in 1995 in Los Angeles. The cage was a cage shaped like the Star of David. The match was star-studded, with one team having Conan, Perro Aguayo Jr., Rey Mysterio, and Super Carlo, and they defeated Cybernetico, Damien 666, Halloween, Juventud Guerrera, and Psychosis. Many wrestlers who were in this match have reiterated that this match did happen inside of a 16-sided cage, and Dave Meltzer allegedly was there and said that the AAA Star of Death match was insane with loads of great spots. But unfortunately, this piece of media is lost because apparently there was a problem with the footage, and so AAA ended up keeping it. The match is probably locked away somewhere in the vaults of AAA. And now moving on to the deepest layer of the iceberg, Tier 6. With our first entry on Tier 6 being The Undertaker versus New Jack. The Undertaker has gained fame and recognition as one of the most iconic and enduring figures in the history of professional wrestling. He made his debut for the WWE in 1990 and went on to have a long and successful career. On the other hand, New Jack is a wrestler who is most notably known for his time in ECW. He gained notoriety for his hardcore and extreme wrestling style, often incorporating the use of weapons and engaging in violent, chaotic
He's also
matches.
an asshole.
But before New Jack was in ECW, he used to wrestle for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Jim Cornette was working at WWE at the time while still owning Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And because of that, Smoky Mountain Wrestling and WWE had a working relationship
in
which some
ill
WWE
of the dead,
talents used to go to Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
It was well known that he was
and
a
one of
big
these
asshole.
wrestlers was The Undertaker, who showed up in Smoky Mountain Wrestling in 1995. The Undertaker was then put in a program with New Jack, and there's a promo where New Jack is in a graveyard calling out The Undertaker. In Smoky Mountain Wrestling, The Undertaker teamed up with Tracy Smothers in a handicap match against the Gangsters, consisting of New Jack, Mustafa, and D'Lo Brown. So there is a time in wrestling history where The Undertaker and New Jack wrestled each other, which is wild to think about.
It is.
WWE actually owns all of the Smoky Mountain Wrestling tapes, so they have the match between The Undertaker and New Jack somewhere within their vault, but it's unlikely that it will ever be released.
Yeah.
And up next we have the Disturbed cover of Triple H's theme song, The Game. Triple H's theme song, The Game, is a song that was made for him and was written and performed by the English rock band Motorhead. Several alternate versions exist, including a completely unreleased cover by the American heavy metal band Disturbed. In an interview from 2006, Disturbed's lead vocalist David Dryman confirmed the existence of the song. After this interview, however, official channels did not speak of the existence of the track, and nor has it been released to the public. In 2019, a Twitter user posted a small part of the song. How they got this is currently unknown. And next up, we have the body count match in ECW.
I want to hear
the
that.
tag
the
team's
thing.
Bad Company featuring Tanaka and Paul Diamond and the Public Enemy featuring Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge were locked into a feud against each other and agreed to a match on the 7th December 1993 edition of Hardcore TV. The teams agreed upon a body count match. The stipulation would be that Pat Tanaka and Rocco Rock would wrestle in the ring, while their respected partners, Diamond and Grunge, would be locked in separate jail cells, and whoever won the match would be able to free their tag partner, and the loser would witness their partner's jail cell explode. And if there was no winner after 15 minutes, then both jail cells would explode.
Loved Disturbed, I still listen to them.
Yeah,
This means that he
Disturbed is
should have been
awesome.
able
They're
to
one of my
rescue his
favorite
tag team partner Diamond from the explosion. But a malfunction
They do
happened and
excellent
it was
covers,
actually
too.
Diamond's cell that exploded. Ultimately, the explosion was deemed underwhelming though. According to Diamond, ECW's Paul Heyman was not given permission to utilize fireworks that would have created a bigger bang. Rather, paper was lit to create the smoke, and a recording of an explosion
Definitely
was used
agreed.
for the sound. The poor quality finish led to outrage from the ECW crowd, leading to boos and chants of money back. Despite the poor explosion, Diamond was still forced to sell the effects of it, and he claimed that it was the most embarrassing situation he had ever been in.
Damn.
This situation seems a lot like another situation that happened in wrestling in 2021, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Because of the universally negative reception among the fans in attendance and ECW personnel, the match and the aftermath never aired on ECW television, despite being planned to air, and was never mentioned again. Footage still exists,
Who
but it's
shall
most
never
likely
speak of this
located somewhere
again.
within WWE's vaults, as WWE purchased ECW's assets and tape library in 2003. And next up we have the lost footage of Low-Ki losing his mind at a CZW event. In the year 2000, during a Combat Zone wrestling event in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Low-Ki and Mercury faced off against Rick Blade and TCK in a tag team match. During this hardcore match, Blade was standing on top of a basketball hoop, with Mercury lying prone on a table. Blade incorrectly performed a leg drop from the hoop, resulting in him crashing through the table, but also hitting the back of his head onto the floor, instantly knocking him out. As CZW personnel tended to Blade, Low-Ki started becoming irate. It allegedly had less to do with Blade's health, but more so for consequently being unable to perform all the spots that he had planned. He started to flip out in front of the audience, with him assuming that he was being screwed by CZW as he was associated with a rival promotion. Nobody was able to calm Low-Ki down. Eventually, a member of security grabbed Low-Ki and carried the furious wrestler out of the ring and off backstage. Following these incidents, the match was declared a victory for Blade and TCK. The match itself is included in the official DVD release of the event. However, for unknown reasons, the Low-Ki tantrum was edited out of the video. The full tape remains within CZW. And next up, we have the Big Show's moonsault. Paul White, also
Big
known
Show
as the
moonsault.
Giant or the Big Show, is a professional wrestler who competed primarily within WCW and WWE. He's famous for his large stature, coined as the world's largest athlete by WWE, with him also winning 7 world championships throughout his career. During his early years in professional wrestling, he was able to perform athletic wrestling moves like missile dropkicks from the top rope and kip-ups, and additionally, there is footage out there of the Big Show performing a moonsault. When the Big Show was on Talk is Jericho, he discussed how he performed the moonsault during a house show tour of Japan. This resulted in him receiving harsh responses from wrestlers, including Hulk Hogan, who strongly discouraged him from using such moves. The Giant would ultimately utilize a moveset more appropriate for his size following feedback from other wrestlers, and he nixed the moonsault from his arsenal. Many people are
Okay, so Bam Bam Bigelow can do a moonsault, but Big Show can't? I mean, granted, Big Show was bigger than him, but still, he was a big guy wrestler.
said to have seen footage of the Big Show doing a moonsault in his early days. And the Big Show himself confirmed in 2022 that there is a VHS recording that was made that featured him doing the moonsault, but it remains to be seen if it will ever get revealed. And the last entry on the last tier, the deepest point of the iceberg, is the Jim Cornette banana tape. This entry is not safe for work, and it's at the bottom of the iceberg for a reason. Just putting it out there so you don't get too shocked by what you're about to hear. Jim Cornette is a prominent figure in the world of professional wrestling, known for his contributions as a manager, commentator, and promoter. He has had a long and varied career in the wrestling industry, and he's often regarded as one of the most outspoken and controversial personalities in the business. In 1995, he was working for WWE, and he had some problems in his personal life with his wife, as she wanted a divorce. The problems with his wife eventually went to court, and part of the evidence that Cornette's wife had was a video of a dominatrix shoving a banana into the orifice on the backside of Jim Cornette.
Oh my.
Yes, you heard that right. It's alleged that when Vince McMahon found out about this, he found it hilarious and made sure to rib him relentlessly for it. At this time, Jim Cornette was working in the creative team in WWE, and because Vince McMahon found it so hilarious, he allegedly ribbed Cornette by having a bunch of bananas around for every creative meeting for a while after he found out. Even Kevin Nash referenced this during an interview, when he said that the only match that Jim Cornette would do with him is a banana on a pole match. Even other wrestlers like Chris Jericho and
really shoved a banana up their LMAO.
Banana tape during interviews. Perhaps the most famous reference to the banana tape was during an episode of Raw in 1997 when Triple H and Shawn Michaels were doing commentary at ringside and they were eating bananas live on air, allegedly as a rib to Jim Cornette backstage who was working in creative. The Jim Cornette banana tape is the holy grail of Lost Wrestling media, and his wife is probably the only person who has the tape. So it's probably never going to come out, but if it were to come out, it would be absolutely insane, but also quite disturbing. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other videos. This video took a lot of effort to make, so please like, share, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.
Pause, thank you.
I love bananas, but even I wouldn't go that way.
Oh, darling, that's not how you eat a banana. Before I end the stream in a little bit, there is some stuff I kind of wanted to watch. I was, recently, like I said, I'm trying to watch all my Marvel movies, and I'm watching videos on it and all.
But dang, what a iceberg vid that was.
It was a good one.
I like the back is one thing, but the front LOL.
Alright, let's see. How many of y'all are familiar with these short videos? A super-powered beatdown? They're pretty good. This is like the closest we're gonna get to like really good fan films for a lot of this stuff.
Not me.
Oh, well, let me introduce you. Let's see. There it is, view full playlist. That's what I wanted.
I remember seeing some back then.
Where is...
Was pretty cool.
Oh, this one's really good. Spider-Man versus Darth Maul. Wait, that's the alternate ending. Where's the original version? There it is.
This episode of Superpower Beatdown is brought to you by Loot Crate, the premier geek and gaming subscription box. Sign up now at lootcrate.com/batinthesun.
I like to skip past all this beginning shit and just get to the point.
EA.com/batinthesun.
Now, without further ado, let's watch this simulation determined by you, the fans. Superpower Beatdown. Ha!
Yes, my master.
Yes, my master.
Yep, yes, my master.
right? Come on, rotate, move over. Oh, no,
He's playing a game.
Why can't I beat this bonus round? How can I beat the lizard and rhino, but I can't beat this level? Gosh. Okay, here we go. Focus, Peter. I got this, and... Oh. Hey, MJ. How's it going?
Bring me the symbiont, or she dies.
Huh. Who the heck was that? Time to get serious. Yahoo! Hey, MJ. How's it going? Are you okay? Oh, good. You look great, by the way. Shh.
You look great, by the way.
Just stay calm, and I'll have you out of here in no time. MJ!
Give me the symbiont, boy. You do not know its true power.
Symbiont? Oh, was I supposed to bring that for you?
I sense a dark presence about you.
Oh, that's because I had some fish tacos earlier, and they are not sitting well. I would definitely not go to Kirby's Crab Shack. No.
This is not a game.
Okay. I hear you. I think you're looking for this? Ah, that's what I thought. I'll trade you this for the girl, okay? On the count of 3. You have numbers where you're from, right?
You have numbers where you're from,
Okay, I've upset you. Never mind. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, catch. Too slow.
Too slow.
MJ, run! Oh boy. That looks dangerous.
That looks dangerous.
Whoa. I know. You're from Asgard, right?
Hey, you're from Asgard, right?
Savage Land? Genosha? Wakanda? Your island? Whoa. Too slow. Can't touch this.
He said, can't touch this.
Hot. Up and over. Give me a clue. A hint? Anything? I know. You're from Jersey, right? I guess not. Ouch. Whoa. Gotcha. Incoming.
Hey, you noisy kids, keep it down. You wouldn't want me to get angry, would you?
Always gotta have that Stan Lee cameo.
Time to end this light show. Hey, Hornhead, you like baseball? Hey, batter, swing. I'll take that. Oh, really strong. Here's web in your eye.
Ain't no way.
Time to unleash the awesomeness. What? Here we go. Oh, hold on 1 second. Wait.
How do you turn this on?
Why can't I figure this out? You know what? Never mind. Let's see how well you do without this cool flashlight of yours.
He broke it.
Ow. Hey, my web shooters. You know how much these cost? That's it. Ouch. Hang on. I'm not ready. That is the worst sunburn I have ever seen. Not good.
Uh-oh. Vial broke.
This ends now. Bring it!
Holy shit.
Let's see how the fans voted. 55% for Spider-Man and 45% for Darth Maul. Because this was so close, be sure to look out for the alternate ending next month. We'd like to give it...
I don't think so, because I don't want to see Spidey die. But yeah, they made some pretty cool videos. Yeah, it's your boy Fat Spider-Man, I know. These Wolverine ones are really good too.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Superpower Beatdown, the show that takes.
Point.
Loki think more would win, but my goat Spidey can't lose Lop.
The guy that got to play Wolverine is amazing.
Hunter vs Hunter.
Yep, basically.
I'm curious, but here we go.
Ooh, cut his blaster off. That's fine, I don't need that stinking blaster. Well, hey, gorgeous.
I thought Beast was ugly.
Ooh. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Run, 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 run.
I need a beer.
Let's see how the fans voted. We have 69% for Wolverine and 31% for the Predator. All right, let's bring out the director, Aaron Shurka.
Yep, pretty cool. Let's see.
So awesome.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, we'll watch some more next time, if you like. But for now, I got to call it. So, thank you guys so much for joining me on the Saturday Chill stream. I hope y'all had fun. And let's see who we can raid.
Alrighty, this was fun.
Oh, I'm glad you had fun.
Bye ya.
Let's see, Shia Bun, Chunky, is
Bye.
Megalodon, Philly. I don't think we've rated Chunky in a bit. Yeah.
Let's go with this one.
So / raid. All right. Yeah, so I love you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Spooky Sunday. Bye.